So in this video, we are going to see what are the design principles that we have to follow for the layout and page layout or wireframe. Okay, so what is wireframe? Wireframe is a sketch or blueprint of a web page that it will give the skeleton structure of a web page, like where the logo should be, where the navigation bar should be, and where the content should be displayed, the main content should be displayed, and where you want to keep the footer, header, those kind of stuff. Okay, so you can see has given some image, the picture which shows the template for wireframe. Okay, so the skeleton of a content organization is called wireframe. Okay, so when you create your wireframe, you have to keep few things in your mind. So always place the most important content above the fold. You might have heard about this above the fold concept in newspaper industry, where they will keep the first half of the page for only for the very important news content. Okay, because it is kind of more visible, right? The same thing we have in above the fold concept. That means the viewport which is visible, sorry, so viewport which is visible. For example, let's take our Kent State College website. So you can see the viewport which is visible when we open the page without using the vertical bar. When you open a page, what viewport you see, that is called above the fold. Okay, so always you have to keep interesting and important stuff in above the fold content. Okay, so and another thing, you have to always make the content organized in interesting way. For example, you can see this website is kind of neatly organized, but it is kind of little bit boring. So we can just look at the better display, where you can see the 3-column layout makes it better. But how to make it better than this? So you can see comparatively better page layout here, where you can see either the vertical navigation, you can just convert the horizontal navigation to vertical navigation, and this kind of far more better layout than the previous two. Okay, so like this, you have to first draw a layout like wireframe, where you can just put a sketch for where you want to keep the important content. Okay, so that is called wireframe. So the next thing that we are going to discuss is fixed layout and fluid layout. What is fixed layout or ice layout, and what is fluid layout or liquid layout? Okay, so first let's discuss about the fixed layout. So if the elements in the web page, when you design your web page using CSS, if you use the pixel values to specify width and height of the elements, then it is called fixed layout or ice layout. So when the web page is under fixed layout, then when the user is using a big display devices with a higher resolution, then this may happen. What you see in this image, this may happen. The content will stick to the top left corner. Okay, so that will show this white region. Okay, so this is not a proper structured website. So to avoid this, what we can do, if the developer has to, that he has used the fixed layout, the pixel values, but he wants to avoid this kind of problem, then we can center the content like this. Okay, so we can center the content by using CSS, so that it will not stick to the top left corner like shown in the picture 1. So the next kind of layout that we are going to see is fluid layout. Okay, so instead of specifying the exact pixel value, if we are specifying the percentage for each element, then it is called fluid layout. Okay, so for example, you can see here we are saying that 620 pixel, that the exact value for displaying the content, but here we are saying that 65% or 30%, 23%, like that we can specify what exact percentage of space that we want to take. Okay, so that is called fluid layout. Okay, so what I have used in my website is kind of fluid layout, so that it will spread all it will take the whole viewport. So even here it has taken the whole viewport. You can see here I have used the fluid layout concept so that it just gets adjusted according to the screen of the user, okay, where the page is getting displayed. Okay, so that kind of layout is called fluid layout. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to discuss is multimedia usage and principles. So normally when you actually use much multimedia content like images and videos, you might have noticed that the web page will take more time to get downloaded. Okay, so we have to avoid relying on image or videos. That is one part of accessibility criteria, because the user who has less internet low internet connection, so those kind of, or display devices, different display devices, if we rely on image more to convey information, then it is like it will affect their accessibility. So we have to avoid relying on the multimedia content. Okay, so even if we need to use image for some reason, then you have to create an image with lowest file size as possible. So that concept is called image optimization. There are different ways that we can do it. We can either reduce the file size and then include it in the website, or we can use thumbnail, so that whenever it is needed, the user can click the thumbnail to open up the big image. Okay, those kind of stuff, that alternation that we can follow as part of image optimization. Okay, so as we told, there are different multimedia files that, based on the speed of the internet, it will take different time to get downloaded. You can see I have given some samples, like for example the HD movie with the 6 Mbps speed, it will take 4 hours to get downloaded. Okay, so we have to try to avoid. So whenever it is needed, if it is really important, then we can include, but else we should avoid relying on the information to convey a important message. Okay, so normally the study shows that if a website takes more than 9 seconds to get downloaded, then probably the visitor will leave. So the visitor will not wait more than 10 seconds to get downloaded for a web page. Okay, so you have to keep these things in your mind, and you have to avoid. You can use the multimedia content, but the thing is, like, you have to avoid relying on that content to convey very important information. Okay, great. So in the next video, let's speak about design principles for mobile website design.